Welcome back, Turkish Spotlight Secrets family of travelers. People say real romances aren't etched in headlines but in the quiet click of a purchase confirmation, a pair of passports tucked into a pocket, and a flight to a city where blending into the crowd is the safest luxury. All year, we've followed the delicate push and pull between two of Turkey's most magnetic figures, Alina and Alp Navras. We've studied every look, weighed every silence, and applauded their individual triumphs. And through it all, a whisper hovered in the background: when would it be the two of them, shoulder to shoulder, once more? Today, fate, and a few immigration stamps, seems to have answered. Forget nebulous chatter, we're dealing with proof, luggage wheels on polished floors, and a destination that smells like drizzle, steaming mugs, and old-world romance. Alina and Alp are set on closing a draining 2024 not in the neon glow of Istanbul parties, but in London's mist, where secrets feel like poetry. Is it a simple getaway, or the stage for the declaration everyone has been waiting for? Before we hop the channel in our imagination and read the map of their every stop the way a palm reader traces a lifeline, don't forget to subscribe. Hit the bell so you never miss a landing, and if you want a first-class pass to our exclusive scoops, that little join button is your boarding gate. Your membership keeps the engines of this channel running. Ready for a soft takeoff into romance? Let's roll. The revelation drifted in like a snowfall, soft at first, then blanketing conversations across time zones. After days of murmurs, photos that felt like puzzle pieces dropped one by one, and fleeting sightings that fed the rumor machine, the couple seized the narrative. There were no carefully worded press notes, no distant intermediaries. Their confirmation arrived in the most human way, a clear, unguarded message that they would ring in the new year in London. That simple thought carried a world of intent. Those close to them say this wasn't a whim. It came from shared fatigue, a heartfelt need to exhale. 2024 had been relentless. Alina hustled between long shooting days, careful character studies, and fashion partnerships that whisked her from city to city. Alp balanced new scripts, public expectations, and the pressure that comes with being cast as the country's leading man. Both wanted a pause, and not just any pause. They craved a refuge where they could be two people again, fingers laced, invisible in a crowd. London, timeless yet fresh, where anonymity is easy and romance never feels out of place, looked like the perfect shelter. Why London? Think about it. It's not the Maldives, solitary and sunbleached, nor Paris with its too obvious postcard. London is a choice with a thesis. It's for walking till your cheeks are pink, for second-hand bookshops that smell of stories, for lamplit cafes where rain hums against the windows. Word is they've zeroed in on the Hyde Park area. Those who know the city understand how winter wraps that park in a halo, winter wonderland glowing like a dream, the chill inviting an arm around a shoulder, a scarf shared in a small act of tenderness. Alina, long drawn to clean lines, hush-toned palettes, and the romance of rainy days, is said to have taken the lead on planning. Friends whisper that she's charted their days with care, down to hidden bistros tucked behind narrow lanes, contemporary galleries where they can linger without being clocked, and twilight strolls beneath Regent Street's lights. She wants this trip to be a palate cleanser, a way to step into 2025 with lighter hearts and clearer eyes. Picture it for a second, Alina and Alp, bundled up in layered coats and wool, blending into a sea of strangers. Which city would you pick to find your rhythm with a past love? Are you the warm sand and sunset type, or do you live for a winter city that nudges you closer together? Tell me in the comments. And remember, members who have hit join get priority replies. I want to hear your heart's vote. But the spark that set the fan forums buzzing, from Izmir to Mexico City, was talk of Alp's big surprise. He's known for thoughtful gestures, for making romance feel grounded rather than ostentatious. The rumor mill insists he isn't flying with just sweaters and boots. Something meaningful is tucked into this plan for New Year's Eve. What could it be? No one is talking on the record, friends have zipped their lips tighter than a winter coat. That hasn't stopped imaginations from sprinting. Could there be a proposal in the cards? London's fireworks cracking open the sky above the Thames, Big Ben drawing a line between years, and a moment that feels like cinema? Others suggest a symbol rather than a ring, a keepsake, a piece of jewelry with their story etched into it, or the quiet unveiling of a creative project built in secret. Whatever it is, the word is that Alp is thrilled, which tells us this won't be just another midnight. It's a chapter marker. Of course, in a world stitched together by screens, true secrecy is a quaint idea. Fans turned into digital sleuths, laying breadcrumbs side by side until a map appeared. Alina posted a photo with a London-themed mug, captioned with a fresh start sentiment that sounded less like a cliché and more like a location pin. Even their movements at the airport left little smudges of evidence. Those knowing looks in a VIP lounge, tiny confidences to friends that somehow made their way into the draft of public conversation, everything implies that reconciliation is no longer hypothetical, it's happening. Among the whispers weaving through the gossip circles, one theme keeps replaying. For Alina, this is a renewal, a chance to pack the doubts of the past into a box and leave it behind. For Alp, it's sacred time, private hours to fortify what they've rebuilt out of sight. Together, they want a trip that feels like a promise they make to each other, not to the world. Their base in the city fits that same energy. It said they passed on the monolith hotel chains for a historic boutique spot near the center, a place where the walls don't gossip and the staff understands that good service is sometimes simple invisibility. They want corridors that swallow echoes, rooms where curtains close without a whisper, and a front desk that smiles without questions. As for New Year's Eve, the plan is elastic but romantic at its core. If the weather behaves, they might join the tide of people along the riverbanks. Or slip onto a private terrace and watch the spectacle from above, the Thames mirroring the sky's bursts of color like a promise rewritten in light. Or maybe dinner will be the choice, an intimate table, just them and a tiny circle of trusted London friends, clinking glasses and breathing easy. The non-negotiable is quality time. They don't need to be seen, they need to see each other. The fascination has already crossed borders. In London, the Turkish community and international admirers of Ada Masali and Marasli have upped their vigilance. Online groups are coordinating respectful spotting at Heathrow and sharing whispers about likely hideaways in the West End. It's a curious phenomenon of our age. The private story of two people becomes a global appointment, an event that fans feel in their own chests. It's not just the fans either. Fashion outlets in Milan, glossy magazines in Madrid, and entertainment blogs scattered across Europe have given this trip ink and pixels. Alp's reach has quietly stretched beyond Turkey, and Alina's refined edge and effortless style make her a headline draw. Together, they're the kind of pair that turns covers into collectibles. The decision to choose London over someplace more obvious is part of the appeal. It endorses the city as the capital of winter romance and reminds everyone that their personal lives are a worldwide conversation. As the city readies itself to welcome 2026, it's clear that this is more than a holiday. It's the affirmation of a second chance. It's evidence that love sometimes needs a change of scenery and a few hours of walking in the rain to learn how to breathe again. Alina and Alp are demonstrating that contemporary love is as much about time management and boundary setting as it is about declaration. They're showing that the art lies in knowing when to speak and when to keep a moment to yourselves. By choosing to spend New Year's together, they've sent the strongest message without shouting, "We're here, we're aligned, and we aren't afraid of the future." We'll be watching every hint. Each fleeting story they decide to share, a fan's lucky snapshot on Oxford Street, a gesture caught in the glow of a shop window. Because the image that everyone is aching for is simple, that midnight kiss under a London sky, the kind that turns speculation into certainty. So tell me, family, will an official photo drop on January 1st? Will 2025 bring the vow everyone's predicted? Share your forecasts, your wishes, your best intuitions in the comments. If this journey swept you up, if you value the care we take to bring you the heart of the moment, give the video a big like, send it to the friend who always believes in love's comeback stories, and think about joining our VIP circle with the join button. Your support keeps us chasing the truth, whether the trail winds through Istanbul's late-night streets or London's misty mornings. Now, for the detail addicts among us, let's play out the itinerary as it's being imagined. Morning walks along the Serpentine, where breaths fog the air like speech bubbles, and quiet benches become confessionals. A midday escape into an antique bookshop, the kind where you have to duck your head beneath low beams, where a first edition might be hiding behind a cracked spine paperback. Alina touching a cover as if it's a talisman, Alp teasing her for smelling the pages. Late afternoon in a gallery where the white walls and the hush feel like permission to be absorbed by something larger than fatigue. And come evening, a dining room lit like a secret, maybe somewhere in Mayfair, maybe a tucked-away spot in Notting Hill, where the waiter knows to leave them space between courses. On the walk back, the city a ship of lights, they carve out a silence that holds more meaning than any carefully drafted caption. Of course, eagle-eyed followers are already decoding outfits and accessories like clues in a treasure hunt. A scarf seen in one post shows up hours later in an airport candid. A playlist shared at midnight features British indie tracks, subtle as a wink. A friend of a friend posts a photo from a Hyde Park corner, and suddenly the comments flood with theories as if the park itself were a stage. Meanwhile, Alp's hush-hush plan ticks closer. If it's a ring, one can imagine the metal cold from the winter air, warmed by the palm that holds it. If it's a symbolic gift, maybe it's an object with a story attached, something they saw once and joked about, an in-joke turned into a keepsake. If it's a project, picture a short film or a campaign conceived with the kind of intimacy that exists outside the lighthouse beam of public life. The point isn't spectacle, the point is a moment that feels honest. That's his signature. Friends insist that both of them have set boundaries for this trip. No red carpets. No staged sightings. No interviews angled under twinkling lights. Just the two of them making the most of a pause, refusing to let noise become narration. Even so, the city hums with the awareness of their presence. It's not the frenzy of a paparazzi swarm, more like the way a room feels different when someone you're excited to see walks in. Hushed, alert, hopeful. And if the weather misbehaves, there's a backup plan. A cozy suite, a bottle of something that tastes like celebration, a playlist that they both had a hand in, and a window that frames fireworks as streaks of color rather than a public performance. They can count down quietly, decide for themselves what midnight means, and let the year turn like a page, not a headline. That image, a private toast, a laugh, a kiss, will be just as enduring as any display over the Thames. In the end, London is not the story, it's the setting. The story is two people who chose to try again, who understood that absence of noise is not absence of love, and who realized that the best announcements aren't shouted, they're lived. Whether a ring glints or a promise is silently renewed, whether fireworks boom outside or are replaced by the soft pop of a cork, the message is written between them. We're together. We're choosing this. Let the year come.